Welcome back to the second annual, 75th annual Quality Assured Films End of Year Wrap-Up with Jon and Mike.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
My name is Peter Parker. I'm pretty sure you know the rest. I saved the city, fell in love, then I saved the city again and again and again. Look, I'm a comic book, a cereal, I did a Christmas album, and a so-so popsicle. But this isn't about me. Not anymore.
Peter Ramsey was one of the directors on this movie.
Okay.
Man of Color. And this was our first Spider-Man of color.
Yeah.
With Shameik Moore playing the titular Miles Morales.
How many more Spider people are there?
The premise is that there are multiple universes, parallel universes, and each of them have their own Spider-Person.
Right.
And each of them have their own animation style within this animated movie. So there's somebody that's from a black and white film noir.
Hey, fellas.
Who is played by Nicolas Cage.
That was so great. That was amazing.
Sometimes I let matches burn down to my fingertips just to feel something, anything.
There was Penny Parker, who was from like an anime universe.
That was cool.
So she's animated in less frames.
Yeah.
Just like an anime.
Hello. Konnichiwa. Hajimemashite. Yoroshiku.
And then there's Spider-Gwen.
Yeah.
Played by our old pal, Haley Steinfeld again.
She's everywhere.
I'm from another dimension. I mean, another dimension.
There's a universe that's populated by, like, anthropomorphic animals, like Looney Tunes style.
Right.
And so we get the spectacular Spider-Ham, played by John Mulaney.
I just washed my hands. That's why they're wet. No other reason.
When I first saw him, I was like, what the fuck is this? I think it's kind of, okay, it's goofy, and I thought it was a little silly, but again, I don't have the background of him. But then he grew on me as the movie progressed, and I ended up loving him. And John Mulaney is fucking hilarious.
Ha! Hi-ya! Ham! How! Whammo!
One person I want to talk about that I didn't even know who he was, the voice was, Kingpin. At the end of the film, I'm like, this Kingpin is perfect. Like, he's got, like, the New York, he's like, hey, take care of him. And I'm like, who the fuck is... I look it up. It's Liev Schreiber.
It's a hell of a freaking light show. You're going to love this.
There was 7 different Spider-Men?
At least, yeah.
And women?
Yeah.
So when I saw the trailer and I knew this was going to happen, I was thinking to myself, I mean, this is awesome and all, but how is it not going to be cluttered and how is it not going to be a big mess? But they sprinkle them in and, you know, very cleverly.
We need to get back to our universes soon.
Brooklyn is going to collapse. My family lives in Brooklyn.
Whoa.
Miles, what's wrong?
I think it's interesting having our two viewpoints on this because that's the conceit of our show.
Come on, give it up.
We say this all the time, but obviously I fucking have way too much knowledge about comic books, and you have 0. And so I felt like this movie was a love letter to me, but hearing you say it worked for me, who doesn't have that attachment, I think speaks to... See, that's the other thing, is we say this for every fucking Miller and Lord superhero project.
Oh.
These guys understand the core essence of the character. Mm-hmm. And that's all we want. That's all we want.
I know.
I love this burger. It's so delicious. One of the best burgers I've ever had. You have money, right? I'm not very liquid right now.
How long will it be until they finally allow them to make some live-action superhero stuff?
That's an interesting question.
And could the Solo project and what happened there maybe make people want to shy away from using them? Hopefully not, but we'll see.
It's so crazy to me that happened now, especially after seeing this.
This could literally not get any weirder.
It can get weirder.
Okay.
For my money here, I think this is probably the best Spider-Man movie of all time.
All right, I
mean, I love and have nostalgia for the first 2 Sam Raimi, Tobey Maguire movies. Right. Even though Sam Raimi has his kind of wacky style, his heightened reality and his Dutch angles and his horror sensibility, we were still in the early 2000s then, and so we were still stuck in that 2000s X-Men world of, we have to make this real. and we did not embrace the full potential of the comic book universe, where this movie goes to fucking 11 on that stuff.
Yeah, you're dropped right
Which is
into
what I have been wishing for.
One thing I know for sure, don't do it like me. Do it like you.
Brooklyn! Stop us now. Hey, I'm all in, I'm all in. I ain't worried about a loss or a new friend. Never worried about a fraud or a new bitch. Lost love, I ain't worried about a process.
I think this proves, without a doubt, you can put that to screen.
Yeah.
And it is not going to freak anyone out.
Right.
Right. So you want to learn to be Spider-Man?
Can you teach me?
Yes, I can. Time to swing. Good, you're doing it. Double tap to release and whip it out again.
Okay.
Whip and release. You're a natural. Whip.
I didn't expect the movie to have so much heart. Like, the father-son relationship was fantastic, even with his uncle, which was an interesting twist with that later that I thought was really good.
I liked that they made his parents real people. For example, there's a scene where Miles comes home and he's really sad. Initially, his dad is kind of like, he almost does the stereotypical, like, suck it up. Like, just man up. And then his mother comes in and says he's going through something and we need to hear him out. We need to let him feel it. Mm-hmm. I don't remember exactly what the line was, but then the dad kind of relents and goes, yes, okay,
Right.
And I was like, oh, that's a nice little scene of trying to, in a very small way, like, erode the toxic masculinity.
Can I sleep here tonight?
Miles, it's a weeknight. You made a commitment to that school.
Jeff, he's upset.
Of course you can stay.
The soundtrack was fucking fire! Holy shit.
Yeah.
What's Up, Danger? I love that song. Play it and let's get a copyright infringement.
So I wanted to talk about the score a little bit, because you talked about some of the songs on the soundtrack. The backing score also was multi-layered, specifically Miles and the Prowler, one of the Spider-Man villains. Through the movie, they overlay their scores against each other. You'll understand why when you see the movie. But just the fact that there was that attention to detail where you could potentially understand characters' emotional states by listening to the backing score, I think just speaks to the quality, how much care was put into this movie. The animation style was incredible. It really felt like you were watching a comic book come to life. And I've said that for some other Marvel movies and stuff, but I mean, this even had, like, I can't remember the name for it. The printing technique where it's just
the dots. Yeah. That was really cool.
Man, it had a 3D effect to it without being 3D.
Hey, kid.
I bawled like a fucking baby in this movie. And there were a couple of poignant scenes, especially since this was like the first time we had a Stan Lee cameo after his death.
Oh, yeah.
And he says something to the effect of, anyone can wear the mask. He says, oh, I don't think this is going to fit. And he says, it always fits eventually. Anyone can wear the mask. And that just cut me, because Stan Lee famously is quoted, over his life of standing up to racism, standing up to bullies, standing up for the little guy. I mean, that's who Spider-Man is. And so to have him in the movie making that quote in 2018, posthumously, like, just cut me.
Can I return it if it doesn't fit?
It always fits. Eventually.
I thought that was an awesome message for kids to see. It's similarly to early in the year in Black Panther, which I can't believe both these movies came out this year.
Right. It feels like forever ago. You're right. Yeah.
Like, knowing that a little kid can see themselves in Miles, a person of color, as a superhero, with as much, I want to say clout, but I don't know if that's the word, with the global monetary value of Spider-Man, and see themselves finally reflected in that character, is just fucking awesome.
Remember, what makes you different,
Let's go!
is what makes you Spider-Man.
Officer, I love you.
Wait, what?
That way. Other way.
Do animals talk in this dimension? Because I don't want to freak them out.
So, I mean, it's probably not even a question of what the outcome will be, approved or denied for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I'll allow you to go first.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, you are approved.
Hell yeah.
Quality approved.
There's plenty more of Jon and Mike when the second annual, 75th annual Quality Assured Films End of Year Wrap Up returns.